Do you have problems with your macro and decision making? Do you feel lost throughout the mid game and you don't exactly know what is the correct play? Do you autopilot a lot and want to actually fix those things? Well, you have got to the right place. My name is Bizais, and in this video I will teach you the best tips that any player can use, whether you're a jungle main, AD carry, top lane support, or even mid lane main, to get a macro aspect to the next level. Before we get started, if this is the first time you're on my channel, here I will give you a lot of content to improve your gameplay in League of Legends. So if you want to make sure you don't miss out any bit of content that will make you better at League, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let's get started. Tip number 1. Understand your job in the game. You really need to know what is your champion designed to do and how do you want to play it relative to the enemy team composition. For example, if you play Fizz against Kog'Maw Lulu, then your job is probably just to kill the enemy carry, which is Kog'Maw. You really need to understand your job inside of the game. Tip number 2. Have a plan before the game even starts. Obviously, it is crucial for you to have a clear idea about how you want to play the game out and what exactly you should be doing. Should we scale? Should we play aggressive? Should we? So challenger players even have two plans. For example, let's say you play Sivir with a Thresh against Ezreal Yuumi. Your initial plan should be, plan A should be, hey, I'm playing Sivir Thresh against Ezreal Yuumi. I want to push, play aggressive, make sure I get the CS lead and win the lane phase. But if you get camped and if you die a lot, then you should go to plan P. So plan B is going to be, oh, I died 3 times, I need to play safe, I need to, well, stop dying, and I need to make sure I get to 3 items. So challenger players, they have plan A and plan B. They're always ready for the plan B. Tip number 3, get ready to adapt. Jungle mains do that a lot. For example, in the beginning of the game, the jungle can say, hey, I want to play around the Z lane because he's playing against Yasuo, it's a volatile matchup, I need to pressure that lane. But as the game evolves, maybe the Z is not very good at the game. Maybe he just dies level 1, dies level 2, just right before the jungle can even help. So that jungle has to find someone else to play through and adapt. So you need to get ready to adapt. Even though in the beginning you're going to say that, hey, I need to do this, always get ready to adapt and be like, oh shit, but it's like, that's not the case anymore. I need to like play with someone else. So you need to be able to adapt. Extra tip right here, you should be able to go for 80% guaranteed plays and expect the worst case scenario. So when challenger players take decisions, they always go for the more reliable option and they do not try to take big risks that have very low rewards. Usually they go for very reliable plays, guaranteed plays, and they also think about the worst case scenario. So let's analyze 3 examples on 3 different roles so you can get a more easy to understand idea about how you should really manage your macro and how to take correct decisions in your games. In the next play, we're going to be analyzing what this Vayne is really going to do in this particular game and if she has a good macro, and let's see if you know how to macro properly in this particular case as an AD carry. But this can also help you to have a better understanding on other roles. So in this position, we can see that the Vayne is going towards mid lane. Obviously, this is very good since Mordekai is already on the bot lane. Lee Sin is on the top lane and the wave is really coming into them. So Vayne can and should go on the mid lane. The question right here that I want to ask you is, what should Vayne do right here after taking the wave from the tower? What should she do here? So in this case, let's see what the game is going to be, how the game is going to be played out. So she's going to take the minions right here pretty fast, and depending on what she's going to do right here, we can know this guy's rank. So if this guy is going to keep pushing on the mid lane, so he has more options. He can just keep pushing mid lane. Well, he can't go top lane because Lee Sin is there. He can't go bot lane because there. But he can also stay mid lane. I mean, he's just going to share experience. So only an AD carry that is below gold will say, hey, he should stay on the mid lane and push with the any sharing XP with any and risking dying against Vi and dying against the others, the Z. So if you had answered, hey, Vayne should just take the mid lane wave as fast as possible and then immediately turn to the Raptors. After that, she should take the wolves, and then after that she should adapt. So let's see what she's going to do. She's going to autopilot, staying on mid lane, coin flipping the whole game. This is what people in lower elos do. That's why this is also a part of the reason why people think that AD carry is a bad role. It's also because people don't know how to play. They flip coins, they go mid, they group. Enemy team is like 2 or 3 levels ahead. This guy is also extremely behind. He's 4-5 right now. He's extremely behind, and boop, he gets popped. Obviously, like he should just farm, chill, get to the items. Don't group mid lane if you only if you're super behind. If she was 2-6, so she should just go for the more reliable play. But yeah, I mean, she didn't really know how to manage the macro. So the rule of thumb is that even though she needed to go mid lane in the beginning of the play to catch the wave, she needed to be able to adapt and say, hey, I went mid lane, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stay mid lane. I'm going to go mid lane, make sure I don't share the XP, and then boop, go for the raptors instantly and try to get that before I go on a lane and farm it by myself. In the following play, we're going to be analyzing what the Challenger Rank 1 AOS as support is going to really do right here. So let's see if you also know how to have a very good macro in a Challenger game, and let's say if you would have taken the same decision as this guy. So he's going to go on the bot lane. He's really going to try out to help Belvech right here, and he's going to try to look to gank on the bottom side. Right here, he will be trying to set up a gank. As the Belvech is in the close proximity, he is going to try to hook and then lantern. Question for you. What should Thresh do right here? Obviously, he can commit to this really super hard and go in hardcore, or he can just back off either towards the Aphelios or towards the river, so he doesn't risk anything. What do you think he should do right here, and why? So if you had answered, hey, he should be going in and he should be going in onto the moment because he just got the hook, then you are wrong. The thing is, Belvech is not even close right now. She's even doing the scuttle, and she's also a pretty scaling jungle, but that's not even the problem that she's scaling, because if she was bot lane, it was good. The problem is that Aphelios is a pretty weak AD carry that can't really one-shot Amumu in a very short period of time. And what Thresh is not thinking right now, rank 1 AOS is not thinking about worst case scenario. We can see that the enemy team has a Pantheon, a champion that can be level 6 right here. So what should happen right now is that this Thresh is going to try to go in, flay, go super aggressive, and all of a sudden, boom, Aphelios is going to die, boom, Thresh is here, and just Pantheon completely smurfed this. I mean, this was very obvious, and we can see that the Thresh didn't really consider, hey, what is the worst case scenario? Well, Pantheon is going to ult bot. Do we know what he is? Do we know about his level 6? No. Okay, then why would you go in right here? You have Aphelios. It's not even like you have Tristana and you can go in and go out very fast. You have a champion that is not designed to win the lane phase. So he didn't understand his AD carry. He didn't understand the worst case scenario in this position. And this is rank 1 West. So this is Challenger, guys. So imagine how many mistakes we can see in lower elo games, where people simply don't really have a plan and don't really understand the game at a very deep level. Of course, anyone can do those kind of mistakes, but it's really important to be aware of them and fix them. The last play that we're going to be analyzing is a play that Yasuo mid lane is going to do. So let's see if he takes the correct decision making, and let's see if you know that he took the bad or the good decision that he should take in this particular case. So let's take a look at this play. Right now, he's just pushing the wave mid lane into the tower, full wave push into the tower, and then goes for the recall. Right now, he actually decides that he wants to follow on the river. So my question for you is that what should he do? Should he follow? Should he not follow? What should he do right here? And the thing is, you can't answer. You just can't answer right here. Like, what the fuck? How can I answer this? You have to pan the camera. Besides, you have to pan. Well, if you want to take a decision without panning the camera, you will never ever be able to do it. So first, we have to pan the camera and see what's going on there. So we can see that the Graves is in a very urgent fight that we can really go in and we can really play around, just because the enemy Aphelios and the many enemy Aurelian Sol and Rek'Sai are around. Graves is in danger right now and they are relatively low. So Yasuo had pushed the wave into the tower, so he has a lot of time to really move here. It's urgent, so yes, he should go there. After panning the camera, the fight is very good. He doesn't even have a huge amount of gold. He only has 400 gold, so he needs to move. As he's moving, he needs to constantly look at the fight. This still looks good. This still looks good. He's moving and moving and moving. And right now, just after the Graves inted right here, after the Graves dive, what should Yasuo do right here? So he has an option to just follow the fight and kill everyone right here, or he has the option to just go mid lane. What do you think should he do right here? So in this particular case, since Graves just died and Nico is 0-3 completely behind, he has a Zac AD carry that is in the tower, he should just go mid lane, as this play is not reliable at all. The Graves died. The moment when Graves died, he should know that this call is bad. So the follow-up was very, very good. He should have moved. But right after the Graves died, he should immediately turn to the mid lane. And this is what he did right here. Another silver player or bronze player, or even gold player, he's going to go in and try to like flip a coin here and try to go in. This Yasuo didn't. He had a very, very good macro. He moved there when the wave was pushed in, he was looking at the fight constantly, and he even adapted his decision making. After the fight wasn't available anymore, then he just went back to the mid lane. So this guy was taking a very, very good decision in that specific moment. Many players have huge macro problems and they run into a circle a lot. Years in a row they are the same rank over and over again. What can you do? Well, if you're serious about getting better, finding out what's holding you back, my name is Besides and I'm a Challenger League of Legends coach. I already coached more than 2,550 people, bronze to Challenger, all ranks, people with severe anxiety, people with ADHD, people with autism, they all improved. Anyone can get better with a little bit of help, so why wouldn't coaching help you? Do you want to improve fast and climb? Then stop wasting time on your own, click right here and book your own personalized coaching to start getting better and fixing your mistakes instantly. I'll see you in the session.